too long. We are the children of Israel. We are Bani Israel.
That's right.
We are the biblical Israelites.
Well, so we can come out of this captivity and start worshipping God as we're intended to.
Where he was being brought up, and as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day.
So Jesus went to the temple on the Sabbath day. This is Jesus Christ. He lived, he walked, he was a real man, and he went to teach in the synagogue, read.
And stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah.
So they gave him a scroll. They took a book that's in the scriptures, which you can pick up and read for yourself if you have a Bible, and read it in Isaiah. What did Messiah say?
And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor."
So the Most High is reading, Messiah is reading what the gospel is. Jesus Christ is telling you by his mouth and by telling you in the synagogue what the good news is. What is it?
To preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
To heal the brokenhearted. That's part of the gospel. Who are the brokenhearted? Well, no matter where you go, no matter where you look, the Negro, Hispanic, and Native American is at the bottom of society. They're broken-hearted. They fill out the prison houses. They're in the slums and the ghettos. They've been disenfranchised. They don't know their history. They're calling themselves bywords. They've lost their culture. They lost their language. So that sounds broken-hearted to me. So he's come for the broken-hearted, read.
To preach deliverance to the captives.
To preach deliverance to those who are in prison and in slavery. Who's filling out the prison houses? We know that it's the Negro, Hispanic, and Native American. And who is what?
And the recovering of the sight.
No, before that, read that bit again.
He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
And
to preach deliverance to the captives.
To the captives. And who went into slavery? Who went through the transatlantic slave trade? And not only did we go through the transatlantic slave trade, we're still in the land of our captivity. Our children are being born in the lands of people who stole them.
Right.
Our children are being born under people, and they're still getting treated less than. We are being told we're less than. We are the last hired and the first fired. We're looked at as hood. We're looked at as urban. We're looked at as stupid. Even when you look at the school system and the education system, they know that people from our areas are less likely to succeed in education because of the way society was made, the way they made it to be. It never happened by chance. It was manufactured. Read on. So he's getting deliverance for the captives, yeah,
and recovering of sight to the blind.
And he's come to recover sight of the blind. Who is blind? Every black person I ask, every Negro, Hispanic, Native American, person of color who is an Israelite, I ask, they barely know where they're from. They say, I'm black. Please tell me what airport you can go to and fly to black. Where is the land of black? There is no land called black. Or they'll say they're from Africa. Well, where in Africa? Africa has many countries. Tell me where. Tell me where your family's lineage is from. Were they always in that area of Africa? Because people migrate, people immigrate, people move. So where were you actually from? We don't know. And the reason we don't know is because they don't teach us our history. Right. Not that they would, because they don't want us to know our history. We get taught their history in school, while our history we get a month for. And then they still don't teach us our history correctly. They make you watch Roots. That's all they teach you, that you were a slave. Tell you you're a slave. Like our people just popped into existence to be slaves. Like that's what our whole existence was for. And that's what the good news is. The good news is that he's going to bring sight back to us. Right. We're not going to be blind no more. We're going to know who we are. And that's why Israelites are waking up left, right, and center in every country. There's Israelites in America. There's Israelites in Brazil. There's Israelites in, name it, Africa. All over, and we're waking up and we're telling people the truth. Let my people go and restore unto us the things that were stolen. Restore unto us our riches, the gold, our precious things. And it's common knowledge. You just need to go and look up the history. Look up the Arch of Titus, and you'll see the Romans stealing our precious things, our precious items, our menorah. They stole it, they know. And that's why it's time for them to give it back, because the earth belongs to Israel. And that's the good news. The good news is you can take the kingdom if you're an Israelite. If you believe in the Bible, if you believe in the Most High, if you believe in God, you can get world peace, you can achieve it. You just have to come back to your nationality and keep the laws, statutes, commandments, and teach people who they are. Tell them, did you know you're an Israelite?
That's right.
Did you know? Did you know that you were taken as slave? Where are you from, brother? Do you believe in the Most High? You believe in God?
I'm from Somalia.
You're from Somalia. You're a Muslim, but you believe in the one God.
Yeah, of course.
And that's it. But the world peace don't come until Israel. We are Bani Israel. We are the children of Israel. So in the Quran, it talks about Bani Israel. It says that we are the chosen of Allah. Allah just means God. Allah comes from a Hebrew word, Elohim. Elohim means powers. But there's one God, and He created everything else.
Khan.
So, and in your Quran, it says that we are the chosen people. So, to get real understanding of the Injil, or what you call the Injil, or the Torah, or the Bible, you need to come and listen and know how to serve your Allah.
You're right, man.
And that's right. But to come and listen and then to do nothing with it doesn't mean nothing. To hear and not act means nothing. Like I said earlier, some people say they love you with their mouths, but then act differently. People say they love you and don't show the action for it. Love isn't in words. Love isn't in words. Love is in action. To love the Most High isn't, oh, I'd saying I love you and jumping and praising Him on a Sunday in church. If you say you love the Most High, you have to show the proof by doing what needs to be done. Get me love. I'm going to show you what love is.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wind it down, stick the talk to this woman, and then come back. Because obviously it's time for you.
So are you selling the books as well?
We're not selling the books, it's just our collection. But we recommend these books because they give you the history of who we are. Do you know your nationality? Do you know where you're from, sister?
West Africa.
You're from West Africa. Do you know what tribe you're from? Or where in West Africa? Are you Nigeria?
There's two type of black, the Bantu and the
Bantu, yeah?
Nilotic or something.
Yeah, now Nilotic, yeah.
Nilotic.
Are you
I'm
Bantu?
French, so.
Are you Bantu? Your history
I'm
Bantu.
Bantu.
Yeah,
You're-
so you're Bantu, you would be classed as an Israelite, you'd be a Jew. The history of our people goes back far beyond Africa though. Beyond West Africa. We were just taken from there to all over the world. And some of us are still there. That's why a lot of Israelites are waking up. Do you know any people have you ever been told you're an Israelite, by the way? Not one. No one's ever came to you. Would you say you're a Christian?
Card.
You're a Christian, so you believe in Messiah, you believe in who the world calls Jesus Christ. Now, the thing that the Christian church or religion teaches that is slightly is wrong, because they don't teach correctly, is that Jesus Christ didn't come for everyone. That's not what He came to do. And you know how I know? Not because I think it, but because He tells us through His own words. Get me Matthew 15 and 24. So I'm telling you from now, if you're a Bantu, if you know your history, you know now from this day forward that you're an Israelite. The people written about in this book are your ancestors. It's not a book about fairy tales. All those people existed. Christianity teaches us, yeah, that the Jews in the Bible are done away with. They don't exist no more. They tell us that we can sin now because we're under grace, and that it doesn't really matter, and that pay your tithes, come to church, you might have a sing and a dance, and then that's it. But look how long we've been praying in churches. I used to be a Christian. I used to call myself a Christian. I believe in Messiah, don't get me wrong. I still say it. But now I understand the true understanding of Jesus Christ. Because this obviously the Spirit bore witness with you that you heard it and you said they're talking about God and I'll listen. You know how many Israelites I've walked past today? Thousands, probably hundreds of thousands. And they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear it. They had more important things to do. Sorry, I've got to go work. But the Most High, His children, He says, my sheep hear my voice. So the fact that you heard and you said, let me find out what they're talking about, shows that the Most High wanted you to know you're an Israelite.
That's
Because
right.
nothing happens by chance. The Most High plans our footsteps. So let's see who Jesus came for from his own mouth.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So the Messiah, Jesus Christ, said, I'm not sent to everyone. I'm only sent to no one but the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why are we lost? The reason we're lost is because what we didn't do when we were in our stead, in our rightful place, we didn't keep the law, statutes, commandments. We didn't keep them, and that's what the church and religion's teaching us. They're telling us we don't have to keep that no more. Moses' law is done away with. Don't worry about it. We're under grace. But what they fail to teach us is that grace, you know, the term grace, that's not forever. We don't get grace forever. You know, like if you have a bill to pay and you don't pay it in time, they'll give you something called a grace period, which gives you time to find the money and pay the bill. You don't get that grace period forever and then don't have to pay the bill. And in the same manner, we get a grace period to learn from our wicked ways and come back to keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. So that's what you see us doing. So you might see us in garments, but these are commanded for us to wear. So we've got fringes on the borders of our garments. We're learning Hebrew, which was our ancient tongue. And we're teaching the words from the Torah that were written. And we're not changing anything. We're reading from the scripture so we can teach and edify our people. So people like you can hear and wake up. So now you know you're an Israelite. So now when you come across other Bantu tribe people from Africa, you might family, you can say to them, have you ever heard we were Israelites? And that the book is about us. And the main point of us teaching this is for us to save the souls of our people, because if Messiah came back to save us and we don't do what he wanted us to do, then what he came back for was in vain.
Right.
He didn't achieve nothing. So change needs to come. When I found out I was in Christianity, I've been in church for 24 years, 23, 24 years. And my father came to me and we found out our history. And he said, check it out. And we studied. And we've studied for the past 3-4 years to get our history down, to know Hebrew, to teach. We met our brother here in Israel, because that's what we do. We make pilgrimage. We don't just say we love the Most High. We actually do what it says. So like some things that, I'll give you a couple of commandments. Do you know any of the 10? Because I know that's one thing that they'll teach in church. Any of the 10 commandments?
You should not kill.
Yeah, shall not kill, that's good.
You should love the God,
Yeah.
Father.
Yeah.
You should not, I guess, commit adultery.
Oh, do not commit adultery, yeah?
And you should not maybe lie or cheat, something like
Yeah.
that.
So you know some of them, and that's what I'm saying, but that's good. That's still better than a lot of people. But the point is, we're meant to know there's only 10. You can learn 10 things very, very easily, but when we're going to church, they're not putting emphasis on the important things. So the main one I want to point out for you, to just to get you started, because I know there's a lot of information to take in. There's a lot. You're not going to pick it up all at once. There's a number on that card that'll go directly through to my elder here. And if you have any questions, you can obviously ask them, and we'll try and guide you on how to study, where to go to. We've got a website on there.
I'd like to read some of your books.
Yeah. And we've got a YouTube channel where you can watch some of these videos. So all of this, the main thing I wanted to get out of the 10 commandments is the 4th commandment. Now, the 4th one is very close to the beginning. First you have love the Lord with all your heart, mind, body and soul. Have no other God beside him. What's the 3rd one again?
Take the name of vain. Don't take his name in
Yeah,
vain.
don't you take the name of the Lord in vain. And then it's remember the Sabbath day. Do you know what the Sabbath day is? So Sabbath day is a day of rest. The Most High says we've got 6 days to do everything we need to do. 6 days, you can do all your work, you can work for money, you can get all that information, but on that set apart day, on that 7th day, make sure you rest. And the reason you're resting is so you can remember what the Most High has done, that he created everything we got. And the Catholic Church, what they did, and you'll find the history for this if you research it, the Catholic Church changed the Sabbath day to a Sunday. So what we need to do is come back to keeping the Sabbath day. The Sabbath day is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. So what we do, we just keep the Sabbath day, we relax, we stay at home, we read the scripture. So that's something you can do. But make sure you check out the information and pass the information on. We're here, we're almost every Sunday from around 2. From around 1, 2, and we're here for about 3 hours. So if you want to come back on another Sunday and check us, or if you want to call and see if we're going to be down here, you check the website.
I want to go to your
and check the YouTube and then get the information. And if we see you again, or most high willing, you've learned something new.
What's your name?
Because that's
Linda.
Linda.
What's your
African name.
Yeah.
Sana.
Sana? Sana.
So you're West Africa, from background, or?
Next to the Africans.
Yeah. So they took us from the slave coast, right? Because like Ghana is like Gad. Yeah, Ghana. Because the name Ghana, the word Ga, right? That's where they got the word Ghana from. Ga, right? So that word comes is a Hebrew, and they just add the D on it in Gad. But they're not Gadites. They're the tribe of God, right? But that's all history. That's all in the past. But Most High is expecting us to return. Now, that place there is our capital, our homeland. That's why our capital. That's real Jerusalem. That's real Jerusalem. That's real Jerusalem, right? So that's our homeland. At the moment, it's
Have
this
you
one.
been to Israel?
Yeah, we took that picture.
You go 3 times a year.
Because it's commanded, yeah. For the men. It's for the men, yeah. Yeah, it's commanded for the men to go to make pilgrimage. And what we do, we go to where the Most High says there. So that's the temple. That's where. No. That's fake Jerusalem. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's way. That's what they've done to confuse us. That's what I'm saying. Because the people who are there aren't supposed to be there. They've taken our culture and our book. And that's what we need to know, because the Most High says when we start going back and keeping the feasts, that He's going to make them not want our land no more. And then the Most High is going to take us and put us back, because we don't want to be here anymore.
There's people living that place.
Yeah, people, I know they live around it, because that place is desolate at the moment.
It's a place called Telluride.
Telluride.
Yes, definitely. There's no homes there. There's no
Under
houses.
the dominion of the Israel or Israelite or the Palestinian.
There is Israelites who we know, who we go and visit, who live around. Yeah, but and there's a little community in a place called Dimona in Israel. They're Israelites who are like us, who know that they're Israelite. But that's what I'm saying, the whole purpose of this life that we're living out is for us to wake up, for you to wake up. That's what we've got to do. But yeah, make sure you check us out. My name's Yardan.
Thank you.
Check the website, check the YouTube. Nice to meet you, man. And hopefully we'll see you soon, man.
Thank you. And your name is?
Eh?
Your name?
Oh, Yardan. So to close out, because we spoke about the gospel of the kingdom, and we spoke to an Israelite, all praise to the Most High, first day back out, that we got to read this, because we spoke about the gospel of the kingdom, and Messiah told us that wherever the gospel of the kingdom is preached, this will also be preached. So bring it out.
So this is Matthew chapter 26 and verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much, and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her.
So the Most High said wheresoever. We are in wheresoever. Everywhere is wheresoever. And we just spoke about the gospel. So what this woman done was comforting for the Most High. And what she done was something good. So we speak this to obey the commandment of our Lord and Savior, our Messiah, our deliverer, Jesus Christ. And with that, we're going to say all praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai.